Hey everybody there, it's Mac, and today we are going to be doing a book review. Now, I know I've been switching up topics on you guys. I know I did a lot of gaming before, and then I did a fitness video, and now I'm doing a book review. Well, I just have so many interests and hobbies, and I just want to do as much as I can to get videos out for you guys. Well, today's book review is Flipped. Now, if you don't know that book, I'm sure you've heard of the movie. If you haven't heard of the movie, then you've been living under a rock, unfortunately. But today what we're basically going to do is I'm going to give you a little synopsis, trying not to spoil stuff, but this is a forewarning to everyone that something will be spoiled in this video, I'm sure of it. And then I'm going to do what we liked, what we didn't like, and then I'm going to do why I think you should read it, and then I'm going to do movie thoughts of what I thought about the movie, and then we're going to do a conclusion. Now, disclaimer, I watched the movie first because I didn't know it was based on a book. I for sure would have read the book first if I would have known it was based on a book. But I bought this book about, I believe, a week ago at Books A Million. It was really cheap. It was in the kids section, and it was the last one. So if that's not go for it by God, then I don't know what is, right? Now it's time for a synopsis. Basically, very simply, there's a guy and a girl that live next to each other, Bryce, Julie, and they lived next to each other for almost a decade. And throughout that whole time, Julie Baker has a crush on Bryce Lawsky. Now, don't ask me why. It's because of his eyes. That's why. She just loves his eyes somehow, and he has blue eyes, so I can understand I have blue eyes. But basically, Bryce does not like her back. It's like a classic, the girl likes him too much. Well, throughout the years, he doesn't like her, he avoids her, he tries to get her off his back, tries to get her to stop talking to her, whatever. Well, they go through all these motions, and then finally Bryce does something to her that makes her lose interest completely. And I'm not gonna tell you what that is because that would be completely spoiling the plot of the movie. But then at some point, Bryce is like, why is she not liking me? Why is she not talking to me? This is worse than having her follow me around, smelling my hair, whatever, right? Well, as you could probably tell by the name of the book, someone flips. They both flip, but in the opposite direction. And basically the last few chapters are basically his thoughts about what he can do to get Julie Baker to notice him or get back on Julie Baker's good side, whatever. And that's basically the synopsis, but now on to what we like. Now, what did we like about the book? Now, this is a very complex answer because there are so many great things about the book, but I can tell you for sure one thing I really liked is that how it gave you different perspectives on both a male and a female side. So when you read a book, you typically a little romance, cheesy romance book, you get a girl's perspective on the whole thing. You never get a guy's, and that's something I really hate. Being really into reading is you only get a girl's perspective 9 times out of 10, and this is the 1 out of 10 time. This is the 1 out of 10 time. Now that's what I really liked because it gave you Bryce's perspective, and then it gave you Julie's perspective. Now the second thing I like is how Bryce is coming into the age of having crushes. Now, if you don't know this, girls mature faster than boys. And that typically means they get crushes faster than boys. Yeah, yes, there are guys or other stories of guys who have crushes on girls when they're 6, but most of the time I've only ever seen a girl like someone or like a guy early in age. Now, he's but in the book, you can really tell that he's coming into the point of being okay, I have a crush on Julie Baker. You know, that's kind of what's going through his head, and that's what I really love about the book because it just shows you how he's coming into that point of being a teen. Because when you're a teen, that's when you get all your feelings, right? So he's you can really tell she did a really good job. The author, I don't know how to say the name. I'll write it up here somewhere. But the author portrayed it so perfectly that I just love reading this book. It gives you a perspective on the guy's side and the girl's side. Now, the next thing I love is that Julie starts to hate him. And when she starts to hate him, he starts to flip. He flips. And I think that's crazy because like that's actually really true in real life, you know, like you know, you like a guy for like years, right? But then you finally like, okay, I'm kind of over him, and then he starts to like you. It's weird. I don't understand, but that is very true, and it also really plays really well into psychology and how like you want something that doesn't want you back or whatever. Like you want something that like doesn't like you, you know, like you always want someone who doesn't like you, and that like it like this book is perfect. Like it really just explains everything. It's amazing. And the last thing that I really loved about the book, yes, we're using loved, is I love how the book and the movies are very similar. Like when you like, I watched the movie first, right? But when I went and read the book, I was like, because I've seen the movie like multiple times. It's not healthy. But I've seen the book, I've seen the movie so many times that I was like, I just remember all the scenes, right? Well, reading the book, there are some quotes derived from this book. Like that's what's amazing about this book, is that there are a lot of quotes derived from the book into the movie. And the reason why that is because I believe the director of the movie, I'm not sure but the director, he was like, I really love this book, I wouldn't change that much about it. Well, obviously there's not everything that's in the book is in the movie, because they obviously had to cut some sort of scenes down. Like for example, there's a time where Bryce is talking to his mother about something he did to Julie before a dinner, and that's not in the movie, that's in the book. It gives you like a whole different insight to Bryce's parents. You know, like yeah, in the movie you get a lot of like, yeah, his dad's a jerk. Like if you watch the movie, his dad's a jerk, right? But you don't really get that much about the mom. And what was good about this book is that it gave you a lot of insight on the mom's character, like a lot of things she was dealing with, and a lot of things like her personality and all that. And like you could just tell she wasn't happy. But in the movie, like there's no mention of what's going on in her life. Let's move on to what I didn't like about the book. Now, first and foremost, in explanation points, is I did not like the ending of the book. And that's not to say it wasn't a good ending. I thought it was a really good ending, a fitting end for this book, because like they're only like 12 years old in the book at this point. But I will have to say I'm not satisfied. Like it left me unfulfilled, unsatisfied. It left like I was like, I need more. You know, it was like when you have like a box of candy, like you eat a whole box of candy and you're just like, I need more, because the sugar is very addicting, right? I don't recommend eating a box of candy. That was just an example that came to my head. I don't know, I just felt very unfulfilled. I felt like it could have ended on a better note. And I don't know about you, but I'm really into like sequels of my favorite books, so I love sequels. Like I love knowing what happens to my characters, but no mas. She even says in like the back of the book, she's like, I'm not writing a sequel. The reason I left it the way I did was because I wanted my readers to basically make up their future. Like, do they go together or do they not? Does Julie forgive him or not? Now, I would tell you what I think, but I think you should read the book. That's what I think. Let's move on to why I recommend it to everyone though. One, it's great for kids. Like it's such a simple book. There's no like, not really any cussing in it. I believe they say the word piss. It's not really a cuss word, but for kids it might be. Basically, it's just really good for kids. It's good for adults. Like it's really good for anyone. It's a great reread. Like I promise you, I'm probably gonna end up rereading this book after I finish the mass amount of books I have to read that I bought on this trip I did. I'm not broke, I promise. It makes you feel like this feeling of really happy. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like when you read this book, it makes you feel like, okay, like I kind of want that story, but that's a cute story. You know, I'm really happy for Julie and Bryce, right? So it's just a great book. It makes you feel happy. It doesn't like stress you out as much. And you don't even need to, honestly, like if you're not really much of a reader, you don't even need to read the book. The movie does a pretty good job at staying true to it. However, there are a lot of different scenes, and though I do recommend you read the book, before you watch the movie, because like there's a lot of stuff missing in the movie, even though it stays pretty much true. Like there's a lot of quotes, like I said, there's a lot of quotes derived from this book into the movie. Like there's a scene where Bryce is at the lunch and he's like thinking like, how could she sit there and look so beautiful? That's in the book. Like it's like quote for quote, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of them like that in there. I'll see if I can find the scene and I'll put it on the screen somewhere.
Just tan. And I mean,
Because less than 20 feet away from me was Julie. My Julie, with Eddie Trulock. She's laughing. How could she sit there and laugh and look so beautiful?
Next thing is like, I just think it's such an amazing thing to see the different perspectives of male and female. Because let's be honest, ladies, we don't understand men. We don't understand males at all. Like I can't tell you how many times I've been like, I don't understand what you're saying to me. And that's coming from me when most of my friends are dudes. I'm just like, I don't know what you're saying. But we can also say, females, let's be honest, guys don't understand us either. So this book does a really good job at like doing both perspectives. Like it's really good. And I highly recommend it if you can get through a 212-page book. And for most readers who probably will agree with me, that's light work for us. So if you can't get through that, then that's just how it is. But the movie's pretty good staying true, so that's all. Next we have movie thoughts. And with the movie thoughts, I'm thinking, I've already said it a lot, but I just want to reiterate that it stays really true to the book. Hands down. And it's by far one of my favorite movies. Like it's always, like it's just such a cute little movie to watch when you're feeling down. It's very simple to get through. It seems like it's very quick. And I recommend this book, but I also recommend watching the movie. It's really good, and I honestly would not have it any other way. Now, my overall conclusion of this is it's a really good book. It shows male and female perspectives, and if I have not said it enough, it stays true to the movie, like the movie stays true to the book. Like how many times are you gonna get that? Like Fault in Our Stars, not really. Paper Towns, like it's great for kids. It's great for adults. It's great for teenagers. It's great for anybody to read, and it also gives you a different perspective of male and female dynamics. Like, okay, a male thinks that a girl is yucky up until the age of 13, maybe. But a female thinks, like, depending on the female, loves guys, like, from the minute. Me personally, I thought boys were yucky, and I was just friends with them. But now I hate everybody, and I'm friends with them. Okay, Mackenzie, that wasn't funny. Okay. Whew. Anyway, the point is, this book is great, fantastic, and I recommend it to anybody. Like 10 out of 10. And it's really cheap if you go to a used bookstore or on Amazon. I'm sure you can find it for like $5 for a paperback, which is what I have, and I got it at Books A Million. So I would check Books A Million wherever you are, because I got the last copy at mine, so don't be sleeping on it, right? That is all for the video today. Thank you so much for watching, and I know I kind of like repeated a lot of stuff, but that just shows you how much this book is like good. It's there. I do recommend reading and watching the movie. They're both really good. I know not a lot of people are into reading like I am, so if you're not, then don't worry about it. Like it's not like it's really not that big of a deal. But I do recommend it. I highly recommend it, and it's only 212 pages, which is very, very easy to get through if you just sat down and read it for like 3 days. Or less, actually. I could probably finish this in a day if I didn't have things to do, if I didn't have a life. I could finish it in a day. Amen. Hallelujah. Peace.